Hello friends, welcome to the Basics of Geography series. This is our IAS Conclave Institute which provide you free as well as premium videos, and for that please subscribe our YouTube channel IAS Conclave. And this is our innovative initiative for geography incubation series for civil services examination, and especially for those students who lack command in their basics, because in this changing trend of the UPSC exam, as you have noticed, this is inevitable to cover the basics and fundamental of the geography. Without these you cannot crack this UPSC exam, and I am Rohit Manan here to facilitate on this basics of geography series. Let's start. Now we will, in this session, we will cover igneous textures. What can they tell us? So this is our session name. Identify and describe the 6 major igneous textures we will cover in this session. So these are the basic types of the igneous textures. So in this session, we will cover glassy textures. So we already have covered the aphanitic, phaneditic, porphyritic, and vesicular textures. So we will cover glassy textures because textures are determined and influenced by the 3 factors: the silica content, cooling rate, and dissolved gases. Now look at these. These are the different types of the textures as magma erupts. Okay. Now in this session we will cover this glassy texture. So glassy textures. What is glassy textures? What is glassy textures? So when rock looks like a block of colored glass with no visible crystal. Okay, so when rock look like a block of colored glass with no visible crystal, it is known as the glassy texture. Okay, so what happen in the glassy textures? So here cooling rate determine these textures. Here extreme cooling. So glassy texture signifies and extreme cooling. Whenever magma erupts and there is an extreme cooling, exceptionally high cooling. Okay, so when there is an exceptionally high cooling, ions which are having a mobile, mobile motions. Okay, so whenever there is an extreme cooling, these ions movements impede. So magma means magma solidify at a very exceptionally high rates, and there is a cooling and solidifications of these rocks. So this type of rocks form the glassy textures. So during some volcanic eruptions, molten rock is ejected into the atmosphere where it is quenched. Okay, where it is quenched means very quickly cool to become a solid. So whenever rock or magma erupt and quench and very quickly cool, it becomes a solid without no crystal formation, because cooling rate determine the crystal shape and size both. Okay, so rapid cooling of this type may generate rock having glassy texture. So this is have we seen that how cooling rate affect the glassy texture. Other factors also, other mechanism to form the glassy texture. We know that key cooling rate affect the glassy texture, but compositions also. Composition. So if the composition of the magma is felsic or mafic, as we know, mafic are dark silicates minerals. Okay, felsic which have a very light silicate. So here if silica content is very high, what silica content do? It makes magma very viscous. Okay, if magma is highly viscous, it impedes the movements of the ions within the magma. So if it impedes the movements of the ions within the magma, that means these ions impede from the formation of the crystals. Okay, now no crystal form. Okay, look at this. Magma with high silica contents, tend to form long chain-like structure. Okay, this is called polymers. So whenever these polymers forms, they impede the ionic transport. Okay, So when ionic transport of these ions impede, so it increase the magma viscosity. Okay, so if magma viscosity increase, so that means rock does not forms any crystal. Okay, so this is how they made the glassy texture. Now how it look like? This is in a natural glass. Natural glass. Obsidian. Obsidian is in a natural. It is look like. Whenever we break this obsidian rock, whenever we break this obsidian rock, it forms conchoidal texture. What it look like? Conchoidal fractures, because it does not have any cleavage. Because cleavage, where cleavage forms where bonding is very weak. So it has a very similar and very strength bonding all over the sides. So it forms the conchoidal texture. Okay, this type of texture fracture. Okay, so this is how we have covered this our glassy textures. If you like this video, please share and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you guys.